This is shown at the start of the film trailer. The American version, this is used to show that it has been approved by viewers to be watched depending on your age. Saw 2 doesn't start with the production company. Instead, it makes reference to the film before Saw. It's possible that they didn't follow the convention because it's part of a sequel, which has a large fan base. This is an example of known quantity. Saw's 2 production company logo is shown halfway through the trailer. These two are big well-known companies with a fan base. The companies are a big part of the film because they supply the budget, but Saw 2 are trying to create their own reputation and are now using their storyline to sell their film. Insidious Chapter 2 follows the convention of starting the film with the production company One Entertainment. The purpose of putting the production company at the start of the trailer shows they are using this to sell their film because it has a good reputation. Both films have different subgenres. Insidious 2 is a supernatural horror thriller. I am aware that it is this genre due to the genre-specific codes and conventions. For example, the use of quick cuts throughout the trailer that builds tension and makes the audience jump. The subgenre of the film Saw 2 is a horror, however the subgenre is splatter, therefore it follows codes and conventions of this subgenre. Throughout the trailer, low-key lighting is used to create a dark and sinister atmosphere. It also heightens the tension and creates mystery. There is a large use of colour to connote danger, but also to express the splatter genre. Saw has a fan base that expects gore and a twisted storyline. A splatter film deliberately focuses on the graphic violence. The film trailer throughout has a special effects display and interest in the vulnerability of the human body. These factors are seen in the trailer, for example, the strange weapons used in the film, as well as the instruments of torture. Iconography is used within both film trailers. For example, in Insidious 2 and Saw 2, they both use the sound of loud screams. These are typical conventions of a horror genre. Insidious 2 uses iconography by using a Ouija board. In the trailer, this is common to be used in the films that are supernatural horror. Saw 2 uses this by making references to the first Saw. For example, the dialogue used like, "Let's go."
I want to play a game.
Certain shots in Saw 2 are very significant. For example, the close-up of a timer. This is to let the audience focus and be aware the time is an important factor in the film. It makes the audience think what will happen when the time runs out and how long will they have. This makes them want to watch the film and figure this out. The dialogue used makes reference to the last film by using the last line, "I want to play a game." This is used in the last film. Fans will be aware that the games are back and they know it follows a similar plot to the first film. Saw 2 makes it obvious that people will die. What excites the audience is why and how. The people that Jigsaw choose to kill have made errors in their life, and the way they die is their punishment. Being part of a sequel makes the trailer easier to create because the audience will be aware of some of the aspects. The order of the trailer is debatable. It could be linear, however, it could be a mixture of flashbacks and forwards. This is another enigma that intrigues the audience. Todorov's narrative is a theory that films follow the theory of equilibrium, disequilibrium, and then resolution. However, for a trailer, it can vary. Insidious 2 starts with equilibrium, then transforms to disequilibrium, and there is no resolution. This is a technique used to create enigmas for the audience. Starting with equilibrium creates the shock factor. On the other hand, Saw 2 starts with disequilibrium and ends with it also. It is different to Insidious, although it is still effective because it does create enigmas and advertises the fast-paced action. This is used because Saw and Paranormal have a good rating and reputation. This will be one of the factors that would tease the audience to watch the film. Saw and Paranormal are known for making scary films, therefore this film would be associated with that also. The film is being released on the date, Friday the 13th, for a purpose. It is associated with one of the scariest days of the year. It is another tactic to get people to watch it on the day it comes out to see if they will be brave enough to watch it on that day. Unlike Insidious 2, Saw doesn't use any accolades or reviews. In the film trailer, this is because it's part of a sequel and is selling its film in other ways by promoting the twisted and gory storyline. The information conveyed is very fast moving and requires the audience to focus completely on what they are watching and listening to. Saw and Insidious both follow this convention when it comes to the camera shots and the style of editing to create an overall tone of the film. The transitions start with a whitewash. This is used as a technique to make the audience jump. but also linked with the sound of lighting. The lighting, sound, and the wash together create drama, but also alerts the audience that evil is about to strike. After that, there are fades to black, but at a very slow pace. But as the tension rises and builds, the fades to black approach faster and connote the fast-paced action that will be in the film. Also towards the end of the clip, there are flashes of the colour red. The red connotes danger and keeps the audience alert because it is a random flash of colour. Saw's 2 main character is Jigsaw. However, they don't highlight his character because his character is a mystery throughout the film. The audience like the idea of a main character with mystery because it makes the overall film a game, and I think that is the intention of the trailer. Low lighting is used throughout the clip to enhance the fear, but also to create a dark and sinister atmosphere. The low lighting is also to make it look real and helps the audience to imagine themselves in that situation. There are lots of close-ups, shots of strange weapons of torture. This is to help with the narrative, but also to start enigmas of who will use the weapons and what for. This is used by quick cuts to build the tension and create drama. There are also mid and close-up shots to show MVC of characters, showing them being frightened. This is a tool used to scare the audience also. One interesting shot used is a low-angle shot of the puppet Jigsaw. This shot makes him look powerful and connotes that he has the highest status in the film. The audience should feel scared by his presence in the film because he is only a puppet. We only associate puppets with the humour or a child's toy. Using a puppet makes the audience feel uncomfortable and almost childlike. Insidious 2 starts with high key lighting. This is to connote that everything is going well, and suddenly the lighting gets dimmer and transforms into low key lighting. The change lets the audience know that things are going to change, and the low lighting creates fear. The low lighting also creates a dark and gloomy atmosphere which initially reflects the tone of the whole film. The transition used are fades to black, however, the ones at the start are used at a very slow pace, and because of the music accompanying with it, it doesn't connote a dark atmosphere. In fact, the opposite, it creates a positive vibe. When the peaceful music dies out, there is a glow of red on the screen, and from that point, disequilibrium occurs, and things just get worse. The red connotes danger, and is a common colour used for a horror movie trailer. Red connotes danger, fear, and mainly death. There are a range of close and mid shots that highlight main characters but also show the MVC and mode of address used. The MVC and mode of address represents fear. The use of music in Insidious 2 is very effective and follows the convention of a horror trailer because it uses juxtaposition by using contrasting music. The first set of non-didactic music is calm and creates a tranquil atmosphere that links to a dialogue and the MVC. It sounds like a sound that is associated with the children's toy. This is effective because it creates a clash of ideas. The childlike music in comparison with the fear of the woman shows that the trailer is about to build up in tension and create an uncomfortable atmosphere. The tagline of Insidious 2 is, "It will take what you love most." This tagline creates empathy for the character in the film, but also adds realism to the film. The audience can relate with losing someone or something they have loved, whether it be a loved one or something materialistic. This makes the character relatively real and makes it more realistic. The trailer creates verisimilitude. When a film is very realistic, it automatically becomes more scary. The audience think it could happen to them. The tagline creates enigmas like who will take them, what is the thing or person taking lives, and many more questions. Saw 2 starts with a voiceover at the start of the clip.
He doesn't want us to cut through our chains. No! He wants us to cut through our feet.
The voiceover is then followed by a man screaming. This would automatically evoke fear into the audience and prepare their minds for another twisted and scary film by Saw. There is another use of a diegetic voiceover of the person who sets up the game of torture. His voice is deep and is very scary to the audience, but also familiar to the audience due to the fact that it's part of a sequel. The next non-diegetic sound of fast-paced heartbeating music with a strong bass that increases in tempo. Matching this increasing fast-paced music is a heartbeat. This is to connote the racing heartbeats of the characters inside the trailer.
Run! Live or die, make your choice.
There's something that we're not seeing.
This is to support the narrative, but also the heartbeat should signify the audience's heartbeat racing by watching the trailer. The music then decreases in volume and the voiceover begins again. This time,
Oh yes. There will be blood.
followed by type of villainous laugh and painful screams. This is the tagline of the film. Therefore it ends with this phrase, and this is because they want it to be the last thought on the audience's mind, because it automatically creates enigmas. The contrast of the laugh and scream portrays a twisted and scary storyline. The tagline of the film reflects the subgenre splatter, because it connotes gore. In conclusion, horror film trailers follow similar conventions that evoke and create enigmas. The aim of a trailer is to entice a target audience to watch a film. Both the trailers I've analysed are part of a sequel. Therefore, this means the first film was successful and they are now looking to experiment with new ways to market and sell their film.